Hi guys, today is June the 11th, and I'm coming to you guys with a brief update on what I have discovered before I presented to you all about how my son and I are victims of government racketeering. And I presented about how we were tenants in this public housing complex and how the government was extorting money off of us as well as other tenants. Now, if you don't know about this, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is at the end of this video, or you can look on my Facebook page and scroll through the videos about, scroll through the videos to see, the previous videos about, me explaining about the public and private partnership, about how the government was extorting money from the poor people living in the public housing complexes. So, my last video I did a video about the online censorship, about how Trump did this online censorship thing to keep people from speaking, and which is right here. Trump, he came out with this order right here, guys, if you can see that. And my last video, I was telling you about how the government know that I'm coming out with my story right now and how they doing this online censorship. So when I did that video, the very next day, the EU in Brussels came out with an order. This is the New World Order government in Brussels. They came out with it says here, Brussels to launch a far-reaching overhaul on online content rules. And I'm going to put this again right here. So they came out with that order the very next day I did my video, because like I said, all of them know I'm coming out with my story to the general public, and they trying to stop me from speaking, but that's not going to work, because I know what God word says, and I am allotted 3.5 years to spread my testimony throughout the globe, and people, everybody is going to hear, well, most, if not a lot of people is going to hear about what I got to say about this racket, the global racket. And I'm specifically trying to relate to the public to do not trust your government, because they are operating under a satanic rule, and they're out to defraud us out of our money, our lives, our souls, and everything. So basically, that's what they're doing. So, but at any rate, after the EU put this online content rules on the internet, so did other a lot of other articles I had published right here. I had printed, and I'm putting that right on there right now and showing you guys that what the EU says about that. Can you see that right there? The EU put that on there, Brussels, and this is basically the one world order. And here's another article, what they put on here about, speaking online. So basically, guys, what I have to say is my personal testimony. I love Jesus Christ, and how I'm coming to you guys, and what I got to say to the public is true and real. And it's all about my personal testimonies. And this is going to be like a very brief video, because I have a lot to go over. But I just wanted to share to the public what I have discovered about the recent the Supreme Court fraud and all that stuff, what I was telling you about yesterday. And again, guys, I'm doing this is like emergency video. I'm doing this really quick and brief. The Supreme Court Okay, first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a victim of a 25-year conspiracy uh, against conspiracy oppression against my business, personal property. I have been damaged. I've been off and on of supplemental security income for off and on for 25 years. In between the times that I was off and on, I was doing my own business and one a real estate or a cleaning company or something. I had my own business in between that time. But at any rate, as well as my son, but at any rate, so while I was conducting the businesses all during that time, off and on, my civil rights was violated by the United States government, and I was constantly damaged in business, personal property. We were restrained from trade, and you know, we just couldn't conduct business because we kept getting violated by the government. But so right now, the last video that I did, I had filed a lawsuit. On the first video that I made, I specifically shared with the audience how I filed a suit against William Barr, the United States Attorney General, and how that was dismissed. And so I specifically told the audience how all of my cases have been dismissed by the United States government when I filed them. This is like over 42 cases here, and counting. And so right now, what's going on is that the Supreme Justice, everything what they're ruling on up there in the Supreme Court, as they're coming out with a ruling like before, or sometime the end of this month or the 1st of July. But everything they're ruling on has to do something with some stolen, fraudulent, forged documents that the Supreme Court justices had joined the conspiracy to defraud my son and I out of money and property. They joined this conspiracy with Hayes Valley Limited Partnership, the public-private partnership, the RACKETs, who, you know, stole money from my son and I. The Supreme Court justices joined that group, and right now they're defrauding my son and I out of property and money. They have, I believe, they have documents and have fraudulently forged documents. I have proof that, first of all, I have proof that they're operating directly with the Sicilian Mafia, the Sicilian Mafia, and they operating with the top global Sicilian Mafia leader, who I had a relationship with for 2.5 years. And you know, a lot of people say, that lady crazy. Ain't nobody finna go get no $100 trillion and no judgment. Hey, yes they are. If you operating as a top Sicilian mafia global figure who run the world. And so I specifically want to share this information with you about how I prayed to my Father in heaven, how in my backslidden days that I prayed to my Father in heaven. Well, first let me back up a little bit. If you look on my Facebook page, you will see that my two best movies that I like is the Titanic and The Godfather. So I had prayed to God. I said, Lord, and I'm finna put this in a video, you know, I'm finna make a better video or whatever, but I had prayed to God. I said, Lord, I said, God, I said, I want to meet the most powerfulest mafia figure in the world. And I told God, I said, I want him to be the same age I am, about the same height, and I just want us to have fun and play together and everything. And so on my 25th class reunion, I was in the Bahamas on the Carnival cruise ship. And I met this Sicilian guy. And lo and behold, who was it? He was, and still is, the top #1 global figure in the world. And he operating right up under Satan. I'm operating up under my Father in heaven. My son and I, we're the two witnesses, and we have authority in the name of Jesus Christ, and we operating under my Father in heaven, Jesus Christ. And so he's operating under Satan, his king, the money. So that's where this $100 trillion coming in, because I guess he decided to use my name and all. He saw opportunity, and it's a lot of fraud going on with the Supreme Court justices. They are directly involved with the Sicilian mob, and so they're using they frauding and all of this stuff, and all of the Supreme Court documents that they have up pending in their court about abortion, immigration, lesbian rights and all that stuff, which I'm not a lesbian, by the way, but gay rights and all the stuff that they have pending, Trump financial records. They have something directly to do with my son and I, because my son and I, we were like in real estate, and so is Donald Trump. He's a real estate tycoon. And so, but I'm going to get off into that, about how, we're minority businesses owner, and how it was unfair, competition and what all that with Trump, a real estate tycoon, as opposed to us being, socially, economically disadvantaged African-American black real estate owners. So, but at any rate, I'm going to get off into that. But so, this is just going to be a short video. I want to present to the public about what's going on with all this fraud going on. I'm going to come to you guys with a better video about all of this stuff. This is something what I discovered because I'm putting all this stuff together to put on my website. And some of this stuff is already on my website. But as I was looking through the court files on the Pacer, first let me back up a little bit. So when I did that video the last time about online censorship, the next day, the DOJ petitioned the Supreme Court right here. Petitioned the Supreme Court for Mueller grand jury materials, and here is that on it. That was the next day after I did that video. So, like I said, all of them employed by the United States government, and all of them working together to defraud my son and I out of money and property. All of them working together. But so, getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, I was on the internet Pacer looking at some, cases and everything, and see what's going on. And I haven't been on Pacer for a long time. And like I said, all my cases have been dismissed. Every last single one of them. Just like I said, I haven't filed anything in the Supreme Court. And everything was dismissed. In the U.S. Court of Appeals, everything was dismissed. And all my cases was dismissed. So I just wanted to share with the audience right here what I discovered about the fraud was going on. Okay, I found this. This was pending in the United States Courts of Appeal right here. And this is on my website as well. And this entitled Sharon Bridgewater versus Donald Trump. And then the case number is 1911411. And do that 911 sound familiar to y'all? The 911 co-conspirators at it again. They done used the case with 911 in it. So what they did, the United States government, the racketeering, what they did was they filed this case, these court documents in the United States Court of Appeal, identity theft or whatever, fraud, somebody did this, and it says appearance, Abby C. Wright, and co-counsel Thomas Putnam on behalf of William Barr and Donald Trump. I never received any of this, and I don't know nothing about this. I didn't file this. I didn't respond to it. But this is pending in the United States Courts of Appeal now. Now, in order for anybody to go to Supreme Court, they first got to go to the United States Courts of Appeal. So I'm assuming this is why this is here. And this is fraud because I did not do this. I did not submit this. I didn't know nothing about this. I just discovered this when I was looking on the Pacer. And this says, procedural motions and all this stuff, dude, right here. And this case haven't been dismissed. And this case is just open, And again, I didn't file this stuff. That's fraud right here. So, okay. Let me put this aside. Now, like I said, I discovered all this when I was looking through the cases. Okay. So, here is another case in Michigan. And I filed cases in the United States Eastern District Court for Michigan. And all those cases were dismissed. And so as I was looking through those cases on Pacer, I discovered this right here. This case number right here. And this says, this case number 213-CV-12692. And this says Bridgewater versus Holder. Now, on here it says enjoined filer review. Okay? Now, this is what this case looked like. It says the United States of America versus Eric Holder, and then you got some other defendants down there. And then you have my name, like Sharon Bridgewater up here, right? Now, folks, the only people... Okay, getting back to this where it says enjoined filer review. So that means somebody joined this lawsuit. Okay. Now the only person who could join this lawsuit is the government. Because this is the United States government up here. The only people that can join this lawsuit was Eric Holder. And I'm suing Eric Holder. How can you sue yourself? Okay. The government sue the government. So this is what they did. They joined this lawsuit. The government had to join this lawsuit because it's the United States government versus Eric Holder. Okay, so they had to join this suit. So that's fraud right there. Because I didn't know nothing about that. And I put this on the, and then the third place right here, it got filed in air. They got a bunch of scribble right there. And then it got down here. Where is that? Oh, right here. That's on this case. It got right here. Can y'all see that? Filed in air in that little corner right there. But all this I'm putting on the web page. But so at any rate, guys, it's a lot going on. I'm keeping this video short, and I haven't filed any writs of ceremonial in the Supreme Court. So just like I said, but let me get back to something. Let me back up a little bit right here. So I put online that I had dismissed a case. I had filed a postage and made it, I overnighted to the Supreme Court Justices, and it cost me like $41. I put that online. So the reason why I did that is because if they got any claims, or if they doing any fraud or have any stolen documents of mine up the Supreme Court that's with me, with Sharon Bridgewater and James Bridgewater having a claim or case against Donald Trump or anything, we do have the right to dismiss as plaintiffs. So that's why I sent that notice of dismissal to the Supreme Court justices to let them know if they got any fraudulent documents up in that court with my son and his name on it, we are, as plaintiffs, are entitled to dismiss a lawsuit. So that was that that is what that is about. And guys, I got so much going on and so much information, and I'm working hard to bring this stuff to you guys. But also I discovered that on the Pacer that it was only just that one 911 case. Just that 911, the 911 terrorist bombers, co-conspirators. They made the case 911. So that was the only case pending in the Court of Appeals. And it was a whole lot of cases that were dismissed in the Court of Appeals. So, but at any rate, okay, my clock is showing almost 22 minutes, so I'm keeping it short. I'm working to bring you this information. So, there you have it. I'm coming out with, I just wanted to keep my audience informed about what's going on. And, you know, the Supreme Court have no jurisdiction whatsoever to rule on anything that belongs to me because they are part of the rackets. They witness tampering, and you can look on my web page regarding that. So at any rate, I'm checking out. I am going to come to you guys real soon with the full story about everything and about how, you know, my personal testimony in my life. So, but at any rate, checking out as always.